Okay everyone, in this video tutorial we're going to talk about adding images to your profile, how you can change the linking properties of it, and give yourself a little bit more flexibility that's going to really create a dynamic profile for you. So if you haven't already, PhotoBucket, great site to upload free photos to. So if you haven't, jump on PhotoBucket, sign up for a free account. So I'm going to jump into my account and give you a quick example here. And when you log into your account from images that you've uploaded, this is what it's going to look like. There's going to be a series of different images that you've put up here. And I've got a lot of different content on here, multiple pages. So for instance, we're going to take a look at this button right here. Okay. And this is an image that I've created. And when you upload a button, it gives you four different options. Or the only two I think that you're ever going to really worry about is your direct link code and your HTML code. Okay, and this is going to be the code typically that you're going to have in a MySpace profile. So if you just click in the box, you'll see that copied sign show up. That's going to copy the whole link, and I've actually got that pasted in a Word document that's a little bit larger. So here's the direct link to that hosted image, and then here is the HTML code. So I'm going to try and break this down real quick for you guys, let you know what all this means, what it means to you, and how you can change that. So let's say if you copied this HTML code right here and you plugged it into your MySpace profile, and let's just go ahead and throw that in your About Me section. Here's basically what that image is going to look like. This button. Now I want to explain, obviously as you can see, as I highlight it, it's wanting to link to something. So right now if I click on that, by default it's just going to take me to that image, okay, in PhotoBucket. So that's not what we're looking for. If you're wanting that to link to another page, I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's jump back down to the code and kind of explain real quick what this all means and break this down. Starting from this first bracket right here with this H reference all the way through the end of that bracket. Everything held within those parameters of this content right here is going to be your linking property, okay? And that's where, when somebody clicks on that image, it's going to take you to. So the first thing you're going to want to make sure is, let's say if you wanted to go to a particular page, everything within the parentheses, instead of it going to the link for the hosted image, you're just going to enter in the HTTP URL web address to wherever you're wanting to send it to. Okay, this little bit right here, this basically I wouldn't worry about too much. That's basically just referencing that it's going to open up into a new window, so nothing to worry about there. And then everything from here to here is basically, let's do that right. Everything within these two brackets is your direct link to the image. So it'll say image source, and then again, it's going to have the direct link, okay, starting with the HTTP address, and that you're always going to leave, because that's going to be your link to that image so it loads properly, when somebody's viewing your MySpace profile. So, and then obviously border, you're going to leave as 0 because you don't want a border around it. This little alt section, this can be something kind of neat for you. Basically what that means, and let me show you here. Notice the information in between the quotations. It says Alt button 4, and that's just basically the title to that image. So when I hover over this, you can see right below that hand it says Access button 4. Okay, so that alt information you can change to whatever you like. So let's say if I wanted to edit that content to say educate yourself, if it's information regarding ways to find more information on how to market better online, once I save that and I go back to the profile, now it's going to say educate yourself when I hover over that. So it's not a requirement you have that information. If you don't want it to say anything, you can basically just delete the information that's highlighted within there and leave it as is. And this final bracket is just an enclosure from the beginning of your linking, so you want to leave that intact. Okay, so very simple, folks. This first portion, the H reference through the first parentheses, is going to be your linking property to get you to where you want that click to go through. The next part is going to be your image link to the image itself. So, you know, again, let's say if you've got a particular linking property and you're messing around with different text or images, and basically you want to keep that same linking property, but you want to change the image, all you would do is go to, let's say, a different image. If I wanted this to be in place instead of this button, I would just click on the direct link option, and instead of copying and worrying about the whole HTML code, I'm just going to go right in to here and find where my image source starts right there, and just copy that down and paste that new image in the particular location. And then obviously when I jump back to my profile, the appropriate image is there. Okay, so that's real simple there on that. And you know, that gives you guys a lot of flexibility. So as you can see, a lot of these different images down here I've personally created to, you know, have on various profiles. So again, here's a good you know, another idea. If, let's say that on the previous video tutorial that you saw on adjusting your text, let's say if it's just not giving you all the flexibility that you want text that you can, you know, create it in a photo editing program, you know, that has a color blend to it, or it's got shadow behind it, you can basically just create an image of that text and use the HTML code, plug it into your MySpace profile, and use the linking code that way. So it gives you a little bit more dynamic to your profile, to give it a little bit more, you know, flash and different content there, if you want to call it. So that's pretty much it, guys. That covers, you know, really what all this jargon means, so you can break it down. You don't have to know everything about it. Just know that this first section is your linking property, where that's going to send your site to, the image source itself, what is the file that is going to show up when you load it, and your alt information, which is what's going to show up if you hover over it, whether you want that to be there or not. So pretty simple, self-explanatory, and that's about it for this tutorial.